Well, now your other persona is your electric persona, and I hear an awful lot of Magic Sam in what you do, and of course Elmore James, but Magic Sam, he must have been a big influence on you back at that those 1960s, late 60s.
Yeah, yes. In fact, I remember I bought a Downbeat magazine in 1969.
Yeah.
And Magic Sam's obituary was in it. And so he had passed at 32 years old of a heart attack before I even had a chance to check him out.
Yeah, okay.
And then in those early Little Village days,
yeah,
back in those halcyon times, the early 70s, you know, he had West Side Soul out and Black Magic. And I don't know what it was, Art, but that music, there's just something.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way about Otis Rush, actually.
Oh, yeah, sure.
But Magic Sam, there's this plaintiveness. And so Little Village did What Have I Done Wrong?
Oh, they did.
In our first, right out of the gate.
Yeah.
And then, you know, 40 years later, I dusted it off, and I've been playing it again, and it's on Torch Tones.
Yeah, that's right.
And I do Easy Baby.
Yep,
I mean,
Easy Baby,
I have 7 records out. Out of 7, there's 4 records that have a Magic Sam song on it. He just connects with me.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, I love him. I think his playing, you know, it's as fiery and as inventive as a Hendrix, but it's not. It doesn't. It's not as frantic. You know, it's something that feels very immediate, and
you can tell he was an influence. He was an influence on Hendrix, as was Buddy Guy, as was Albert King, Albert Collins. And Jimmy, you know, who I got to see in 1968, he blew my mind.
Right.
He acknowledged all those great guys. I just finished Buddy Guy's autobiography. Very good book.
It is good. Yeah.
And no, you're right. Now, have you heard that Magic Sam one where it's live?
I think so. Live at Ann Arbor.
No, this was in a little club, actually.
Right.
And Shaky Jake was his, like, cousin or uncle, or something like that.
Cousin, I think,
And he played harp, and it's just a trio in a club, and you can tell Magic Sam's playing a Strat. And it's just really special.
Right.
And of course, he had one signature riff that he built his career on, just like Elmore James.
That's right.
I mean, that's the definition of style to me. You know, taking something that you have and capitalizing on it.
That's right. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, you have 7 records out. And people would be surprised to know that you've done all that by yourself. You've not been on any kind of major label.
Yeah, Blue Star.
Blue Star
is my, you know, it never was meant to be that way, and I get a kick out of it. People contact me, they want to be on my label. I could barely, you know, I would like to, believe me, I'd like to be on a label. There's some good labels out there that I've been checking out. But I'm part of the way into, I'm a third of the way into my my 8th. But I'm about a year away, I think.
Yeah, and you know, everybody today, it's produce your own record, sell it on eBay, sell it on iTunes. You've been doing this for 20 years now. What are some of the advantages that you've found? What is...
I'll tell you, man, you know, I wish I knew. I feel like I'm starting all over again every single time. In fact, yesterday I was talking to a guy in Northampton who is one of the gurus of the music scene. He's a very talented cat. He's got a great studio, multi-instrumentalist, and he was telling me that people are doing these things now where you get a card, you know, looks like a credit card or a gift card.
Right.
And there's a code on it, and you hand those out, or you sell those, and people go to the site and type in the code, and they download the music.
Really? Wow.
The people are getting away from hardware, because CDs are now considered antiquated in some ways. But to me, though, you gotta, I don't know.
Yeah.
I still like I just played, I had a dear friend over the other day, and she had never heard Magic Sam.
Right.
So I played West Side Soul.
Yeah.
And I got out my LP. And put the needle down.
Oh, wow.
Played
Still the LP. Good. Good. I put on today Buddy Guy, the Vanguard years, and I was just like so thrilled with how fresh and good it sounded, you know, with all the new Buddy stuff that's very heavy in the electronics. This was just so nice to...
There was something, so that might have been the golden age, and that's why, you know, again, to my point from earlier, where some people can recreate that sound, and that's what they want to do, and all the power to you. But I think that who's going to do it better than these guys? I mean, this, you know, it's like if you're a painter and you want to, you know, be one of the, you know, the Impressionists or a Renaissance painter. I think it's great if that informs your work.
Right.
But if you're only going to try to recreate what somebody or a group of people had done so well when it was cutting edge, and I don't know, it becomes kind of an imitation.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Yeah. And there are those people who simply imitate, for their entire lives, and
that's fine.
And yeah.
That's fine.
With your own records here now, the 7. How difficult is it for a performer to break out of a region? You're pretty much in the Northeast corner, the New England states, Connecticut, upstate New York. How difficult is it for...
It is. It's not easy. It's not easy. And when you think about it, a lot of the bluesmen were regional artists. They played the Mississippi Delta. They went to Chicago, and it was relatively late in their careers that Muddy and Wolf really got national. Right. When the college kids flipped out over the blues, and then they finally could start playing in the Northeast. I mean, we grew up in the Northeast not really hearing these blues. Right. It was the Paul Butterfield Blues Band that completely changed my life. I was not exposed to that music prior. Sure. But to answer your question,
and those guys had a whole circuit of clubs within Chicago, let's say, that they could play 5 nights of the week, and then maybe one night go up to Wisconsin, Madison, Wisconsin, where they
were centrally located.
Yeah.
But there used to be the Shabu circuit, but those places now, it's getting harder and harder for people to go out and play.
I would say in the 90s, you were out pretty often playing a lot.
Yes, and I will again. I will again. So when I figure it out, I'll let you know.
I would imagine, some of the people I've talked to from the West Coast, it really takes a couple of times for you to build an audience or a following in an area. And so to step out of this area and go to, I don't know, the Midwest, you have to go back 2 and 3 times, then it pays off.
Yeah. I think there's no substitute for that hardcore traveling.
I was up at the Iron Horse back in August, and Curtis Salgado was there. For 80 people.
Wow.
They only sold out the first floor, nothing on the second.
He's still doing it.
Oh my God, he had that place up and dancing like it was a soul revival. Next time he comes back, Mark, it's going to be full, because everybody's going to tell their friends.
And he's paid his dues, and he's still paying his dues. I don't think it ever ends.
No. You once told me a long time ago, you said, this guy Nomad is still a young kid in the blues. You still feel that way?
Not so much. Maybe in terms of career, because there's still so much to accomplish. But I'm starting to feel like I've been around a while.
Well, we thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you so much.
We should definitely tell people out there, you get a chance to either get a Mark Nomad recording or see him live. He really is a carrier of the torch. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Art Tipaldi. Thank you, and now enjoy Don Odell's Legends.